that's good. So let's just suppose I have a startup. Okay, I'm building an MVP, or I have an MVP. So it's maybe a monolithic application or whatever of that sort. So where do I start? Like, what are the next steps to go in terms of going to this DevOps journey?
So if you haven't already done it, I mean, like, you've probably been living under a rock. So this is you would start off by just reading up on the internet, I would say. So this is a pretty well-known concept at this point, and the problem is not that the information is not available. It's just that too much information available. And how do you start is, if your team is not already doing it, the first thing is to get your team onboarded. But this is going to be a different concept where the developers are not just responsible for building the software and only the unit tests, but they're also responsible for building functional and system tests as well. And automating every test that they write, they have to be able to automate it. And once they automate it, then there are many technologies that are available. And over there, it becomes a complex matrix of which one you pick to build your DevOps pipeline or your CI/CD pipeline. It really depends on your use cases. If you are based on a private data center and that is your key, all of your workloads are over there, then you'll have to pick a system that is based on Jenkins or something else that you could actually roll your own. And there are also some other companies that are doing it. If you are a cloud-based system, then you got many more options, because you've got the clouds. Each of the clouds also offer, public clouds offer some sort of CI/CD systems themselves. Every one of them offers them. And then there are many other out there in the which are being offered as SaaS platforms as well. On CI, you've got Circle CI, Travis CI, there are many others, right? So on the CD side, you've got Argo CD, you've got Flux CD, you've got many other systems as well that just do the continuous deployment for you as well. So it really depends on your use case and where your workload is situated. You mentioned something around a monolith. A lot of people think, if I've got a monolith, I can't start DevOps and I need to wait for it to be broken down into microservices before I can do something meaningful with it. I think that's a fallacy. I'm like, you really don't. I'm like, you can get started by whatever you have. I'm like, got some test cases, and there's a test framework out there. I show you of that can automate those test cases. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't exist, it's probably a worthwhile effort to hire engineers to build that test framework rather than having them run manual processes to run those tests. So, So don't wait for, my big advice to a startup is, don't wait for your application to become this shiny new, fully microservice-sized API-driven application before you start your DevOps journey. Just start and then iterate on it. It's an iterative process. Start right away, talk to your team, and pick the technologies that are that'll work for you today, and then iterate to make it better and more scalable in terms of your application architecture.